Friends, today there is a truly critical development on the XRP front. Even when the market is experiencing a downturn, seeing what the big players are doing actually gives us the clearest signal. Now, according to the latest data, XRP's funding rate, that is the long-short balance in futures trading, has reached its highest level since February. What does this mean? In short, it means that more positions are being opened in the direction of an upward move in the market. In other words, longs are increasing. But here's the more interesting part. While the price is falling, meaning most people are panicking, the big investors we call whales are doing the exact opposite. In the last 11 days, they have bought exactly 1.15 billion XRP. Look, this is very important. While small investors are afraid, big investors are accumulating from the bottom. Especially wallets holding between 10 million and 100 million XRP have added hundreds of millions of coins, and even larger whales have withdrawn hundreds of millions of XRP from the market. So here we can clearly see that there is an accumulation phase, but when we look at the price side, there is still pressure. XRP is currently around $1.37 and has pulled back somewhat in recent weeks. So the price is falling but interest is increasing. This is generally a picture we see before significant breakouts in the market. Also, on the social side, the hype has increased. Positive discussions about XRP have reached one of the highest levels in the last 2 years. But there is something here that needs attention. News like this usually doesn't send the price soaring immediately. Usually the hype comes first, and then the real movement follows with a bit of a delay. Now let's sum up this data. The funding rate is rising, longs are increasing, whales are buying, and big money is coming in. The price has dropped. This means it's an opportunity to accumulate at a cheaper price. Social hype is rising, and interest is increasing. What does this mean? The market might be preparing for a potential move right now. But thinking in only one direction here is also risky, because the price is still weak and there hasn't been a definite breakout yet. So, in short, the situation is this. There is strong accumulation happening in the background for XRP, but it hasn't fully reflected in the prices yet. If this demand continues, we could see sharp upward movements in the upcoming period. But if the demand drops, this could remain just a temporary hype. Friends, when we look at the XRP side, the price is currently trading at around $1.36. Despite the recent pullback, an interesting picture has formed in the market. First of all, let me make this clear. The price may have dropped, but there is significant activity happening in the background. Especially the latest data shows us this. Large investors, in other words whales, see this decline as an opportunity. So while small investors are selling, big players are buying. When do we usually see scenarios like this? It's when the market is preparing for its next big move. Now let's look at the technical side. The $1.30 level is currently very critical. If this level is maintained, the likelihood of a rebound from here is quite high. Above, there is a very strong $1.50 band. If XRP breaks this level, momentum could increase significantly. Higher up, there is the $1.70 to $1.80 range. If this region is broken, the situation could completely turn into a trend reversal. But not everything is that simple. If the $1.30 support is broken, we could see a pullback down to the $1.20 or even $1.10 levels. So this is somewhat of a decision zone. Now here's the important point. The funding rate is rising. In other words, the number of people opening long positions in the market is increasing. This is generally a bullish signal. But at the same time, if there is an excessive accumulation of longs, there is also a possibility of a long squeeze in the short term. So the market wants to move upward, but at the same time, there is an environment where everyone could be caught off guard. XRP is currently trying to recover from the bottom. $1.30 is critical support. If $1.50 breaks, the uptrend may speed up. Whales are buying. This is a very important signal. But in the short term, volatility may continue. Here's my general view. XRP might currently be in a quiet accumulation phase. If the overall market supports it, these kinds of levels could be the areas where people later say, I wish I had bought. But remember, nothing is guaranteed in the crypto market. What I've explained here is definitely not investment advice. I recommend that you prioritize your own research. Have a good day, everyone.